Yo, I wish this were another day driving with Mike Lowry.
Just relax.
But no, this is just me last August driving through a thunderstorm in Oregon. But with clips like this, you kind of feel like you were in an action movie, especially with the way some of these folks were driving. Like, what the heck? Passing people up. And surprise, fools, here's a big old puddle.
Oh, man, what are you doing, man? Pay attention to what you're doing.
But if you're from Arizona, you already know about these driving through the monsoons. Yet, despite this wisdom, I still found myself losing a little bit of traction right here. And how'd I get myself in this ballet? Well, to explain this, we gotta rewind the tapes back 1 hour before we ran into this monsoon storm in Oregon. This segment towards Salem and then to Portland started off normally like any other. I mean, you wouldn't even suspect looking at this beautiful sunset that anything was brewing in the horizon because you're just kind of just enjoying this brilliant view, honestly. But lo and behold, we had some cumulonimbus clouds way in the distance, and yep, we knew what that meant. And if it weren't already obvious enough that we were getting into inclement weather, this flag is pretty much telling us, yo, it is windy out here right now. But despite, the ominous look of things, still just a sight to behold. If you've been looking at the road at all, you can already tell that it is wet, yet the storm is still to the north of us. So it's safe to assume the storm is heading in a north direction. And here's a little marker to kind of show us where we were at. So a little bit south of Salem and about an hour south of Portland. So now going uphill, this is where things start getting real. The rain is picking up, the water on the road is starting to accumulate, and I cannot safely pass this truck in the middle lane. So if in doubt, just drive safe. No need for bravado. Just be in the best situation that you can in the rain. And if you need to slow down, heck yeah, slow down until you can drive safely out here. There's even this motorcycle that ends up being behind me and is passing right here. And I can only imagine what it's like to be in a motorcycle. One, you got the rain pounding in your face. And then two, you're having to kind of worry about what other drivers and humans are going to do because you're in this little motorcycle and, people can drive pretty crazy in the rain. So I don't blame them for getting in this middle lane right now, too, and slowing down. It's pretty remarkable that in these freeze frames that with the lightning, it looks like you're in the middle of the day, even though it's nighttime. As we get closer into Salem, the city, I don't know if it's because people feel like, well, we're in the city, now we can start driving as if it were a normal day, but nah, don't be deceived. You might be in a town center or driving through a city, but that does not mean the roads are any safer. But despite this, we still had cars driving like maniacs. Got these two cars speeding on the left lane, and then this other white SUV. Oh, I got four-wheel drive. I could do whatever I want, so let me just go ahead and pass everybody up. No. That is not the mentality that they should have, and we see them just zooming off in this time lapse over here, but eventually we hit this huge puddle, and I think it catches this SUV off guard, and yep, that white SUV right there that passed me hits the brakes, hits this massive puddle. Oh yeah, big puddle right there. And as we all do, actually, I actually lose a little bit of traction. You can hear it. I think this SUV learns what's going on, and they are like, heck no. They finally go back in the right lane. Or have to change their pants afterwards.
Was a motherfucker. That one puckered up my butthole.
Yep. In this type of situation, especially coming from monsoons in Arizona, is to try to find the driest road possible, and that will often be taking a safe distance behind these huge trailer trucks, where I can kind of drive behind their treading. So no shame in letting other cars pass you, as long as I can safely see ahead of me, as well as, again, having a relatively drier road ahead of me. Although this one semi-truck to the right, though, still wants to pass. I don't get this at all. But to each their own, it's just not the safest thing that I would do, especially if I'm responsible for this huge truck and other people's lives on the road. Ooh, and look at that. Well, that's one way to take your mind off things for a split second. So yeah, so this truck is doing its own thing, doing the good old, I'm going to take 5 minutes to pass another vehicle type situation that you love to see on the highway. But we staying safe again behind this truck. Can't say the same for these other two cars flanking right there. This car on the right got nowhere to go anyway. And that is a prime example why risky driving never pays off at the end. But anyway, out of this, we did get a clean car. And I will leave you with a few more clips of driving through a storm in Oregon. But shout out to the state, though. It is beautiful to drive on a clear, sunny day. All right, folks, stay safe, and thank you so much for watching. Take care.